This is the Echoes of New Eden podcast. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Echoes of New Eden. I am your host, Regis Philbin. Oh, sorry, Rambo Philbin.
I can't wait to hear
Rambo
your accent.
Philbin.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, my impression later.
Your impression of Regis
And
is going to be
everybody,
amazing.
welcome Taylor Rick.
What's up? I'm excited.
Well,
I'm already 2 Hefeweizens in. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, interesting. All right. Yes, we got quite the show today. We will be catching up on all the latest game news from Eve Echoes, the official server, and all that. And then we'll be talking. I invited a bunch of content creators with us. I already see a few of them in the audience
Yeah.
waiting for their time. So thank you for joining, guys and gals. And after that, we will be hosting the first ever Who Wants to Be a Billionaire Eve Echoes game show. So that is going to be legit.
Yeah.
I spent 2 days.
Damon's already X'd up. You're a little early.
So, yep, we'll tell you when to X up. And there's going to be a whole song and everything about it later. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah. And if you watched any of our Jeopardy shows from our first game show grouping that we did, you know that the questions are not easy. They will be tough.
Oh, yeah. These are, I think, are considerably harder questions. There's only 14 questions.
Yep.
But you seriously got to know your stuff.
Yeah, first couple maybe not, but you know, just to tease you a little bit, right? Just to kind of make you think it's going to be easy, kind of relax you, calm you down, and then really hit you with the hard shit and be like, oh crap.
Wouldn't that suck if I started out the gate with like a super hard question and nobody got past it?
You know, it'd be really funny to do that like 4 episodes in a row and have the game show only last like 30 seconds. Especially
use all their lifelines.
Because I'm always trying to find a way to make money, right? So especially knowing that we're sponsored for this. We've been given a decent chunk of ISK to hand out for all of this. And if nobody wins, we get to keep it, right? We just split it. Is that how that works or no?
I don't know if the sponsor would like that. I
Probably
told them
not.
it was going to
I imagine they're listening and their group of PvPers are already heading down to my spot. So
Yep, and it's a lot.
They would extract it one way or the other.
They'll get it out of you. So, yes, another glorious week in New Eden. And actually, I wanted to comment about last show. Last episode was actually pretty favorable. I got a lot of good reviews from last episode. I think most people enjoyed that last part we had where we kind of had like a roundtable discussion of, people just talking, chatting, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I did also want to note that somebody told me to correct you about the production time of the Rourke Wall.
Not 20 days, okay.
Not 20 days? Is that not 20 days? Is that with skills, not skills?
20
No
days. I
skills?
thought it was 20 days with some decent skills. Maybe not maxed out skills, but at least decent skills.
554, I believe, is 18 days.
Ah, okay. That's close.
He's wrong, and I want to make sure of it.
Well, I was going to say, close isn't good enough, and in this game, we would like things to be specific, right? It's not a 24.2% increase. It's a 25% increase, those kinds of things. I understand. I get it. That whole time we were talking about that, too, I kept having one of my guys texting me, and I was just ignoring it, and he was giving me different numbers than what I was saying on the show. So that was good to know after the fact, but whatever.
Oh. That's funny. You get random people messaging you to screw you up. Nobody messages me.
I do all the time. Like right now, I've got 16 different pings already since this thing started. I think it's because they know that I like try to read them while I'm doing the show, maybe, and you just ignore everything. Maybe do you? I don't know. Maybe they don't realize you do watch it. I don't know.
I may delay in reaction time, but I don't ignore him.
Well, no, I wouldn't think you ignore him. I didn't mean it like that, but
Just blame Snacks. Just
Okay.
blame Snacks.
Yeah.
It's all he's the ringleader. It's
Yep.
all his fault.
And see, Snacks said 19 days, 3 hours. Are you 554 Snacks? Or are you 553? You're probably 553 for 19 days, 3 hours. Or is it? Just tell us what you are for build. It's already in build. I already know. We all know. You're Snacks. Oh, cool. Oh,
So,
Kawari. Oh, there's his secret. There's his dirty little secret. He doesn't do any industry.
all right,
He has a
all right,
girl do it. Okay, moving on.
right. Um, so yes, let's get into the game news and see what was in the happenings in the last week. So, of course, a day after we do the show and it releases, the next Q&A gets released.
Uh-huh.
And so they had a couple here. They'll be talking. Let's see, this one's about drones. Since we are getting mining drones at the new industry update, when are we going to get the other drones like EWAR and NOS and Newt drones? Also, would like to have some unique only in Echoes type drones with disruptor and web drones. And they say currently we are developing a salvage drone, but the acquired method and the release time has not been determined. EWAR drone is currently not in the development plan. Are those EO things type drones, or is that just specific to he's
E-War
just
drones?
requesting for it?
Yeah, no, those are in EVE Online. But the yeah, salvage drones would be good news too. I don't know. I'm torn of that whether or not I would want to have E-War drones in the game. I think they have to fix the drone mechanics before I would say yes to that. Just because the drone mechanics themselves seem to be a little bit messy. But yeah, you'd actually have to have E-War to have E-War drones. That's true. That's true, Mackenzie. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So they had another question here. With the recent addition of industrial ships, will you consider adding corpse citadels for planetary production? New capital miners will produce more ore relative to planetary. The addition of planetary related citadels could stabilize the planetary prices. Best regards, thank you for all you do. There are currently no plan adding the citadel, but we are watching the stock of ore and planetary materials. If there is an imbalance in the future, we will further adjust the output of planetary production. By that, they will most likely come out with something so absurdly expensive in materials cost it'll drive the prices up. Sounds familiar?
Yeah, it does sound familiar, but I don't think they'll. I mean, the PI prices are kind of all over the place. They were starting to go up, and it was looking really good for PI, and then they did the double PI production and just dropped them right back through the floor. So we like to think of this game as being a player market, but it's not. It's completely manipulated, all the way down to that level. So yeah,
Well,
thankfully with PI, they're not going to do anything with the citadels. That would be silly.
you know, and I did mention this in another episode. I remember talking about it. One thing that we should see sometime is the ability to upgrade outposts from, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. And, planetary and ore and all that can go towards stuff like that, similar to upgrading your citadel. Now, I know that is an EO,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not an Echoes. So maybe somebody should ask them that question and have them answer it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. These Q and A's. I wish the questions were so much better. I don't know who picks them, and it's kind of silly.
I think supposedly these people that do the questions actually get Omega for the questions.
That's what I've always
So if that's
heard. I've never heard
any
anybody actually tell me they did, but that's what I've always heard. Is that kind of like
so if that's any incentive to do it.
I was gonna say, but is that kind of like the very first Inscription of the Galaxy building event that we were supposed to get medals and banners and nanocores for, and still haven't seen yet, and it's June? I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
pointing out an obvious little time delay thing there.
Yep.
Oh,
And
ooh, Damon. Oh, you posted that. You posted that.
yeah. The we'll be talking about the content creator thing here shortly. And so they had a couple more questions here. Thanks for the balancing updates recently. A crucial part of Echoes is the market. In new player, have some problems understanding player-based economies like Eve Echoes has. Could you add more information about the market in the initial tutorial? That would help players learn about the P2P transactions and trading. They say, thank you for your support. The in-game trading system, one of our favorite features, but it also brings concern. Its complexity results in relatively high threshold for use. We have not had good opportunity to improve its ease of use before, but now we are making attempts to make it more user-friendly. So I know in this recent update they did add some additional tutorial features. I'm not really sure if that had something to do with market or anything. I haven't made a new character or anything to try it. Maybe somebody else has.
Yeah, I haven't gone through that tutorial since day one, way back in the way back in the day. So I wouldn't know either. I think though with the market that I do agree on the one point that Lancelot says there. That would be very difficult to try to make a short, easy, concise something inside of the game to try to explain to someone how a market economy is supposed to work. And yes, I know a minute ago I said that it's not really a player-based economy, but in some ways it kind of is. I mean, the reason that the ship prices are tanked in less than what it's cost to build them is because someone just dumped it on the market, right? And so that influences things and changes things. So it'd be kind of tough to explain to somebody. I think if they just go to YouTube and watch, one of the 50 different content creators we have here tonight with us explain this six ways to Sunday, then maybe they'd have a better answer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There's a Taylor Rick short YouTube episode right there
that's
for
true.
you.
That's
Explain
true.
the market.
That's actually on my list. One of those shorts. It's
Yeah.
actually on my list to explain how to make money off the market and manipulate it for your own good. Yeah, just like the Gex used to do. He used to be really good at that. I miss those. I used to love watching those.
Last question. With the new industry capital module release, like the Sea Lion module that gives ore compression capabilities, does this need the ore compression skill to use it, or is it completely independent and works on its own without the skill? And the answer to that is the industrial core is not affected by the original ore compression skill and does not require skills to use, but is newly added, corresponding skill is trained, the industrial core will be more efficient.
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yep. I won't say any more about that particular Q&A because that's a little bit of something that's in the game show.
Somebody told me a price on that was at 17 billion just for that thing.
To build the
Number.
the tactical modules, there's two different ones for the Rorqual. Yeah, it's like 16, 17 billion somewhere in there.
Stupid.
Yeah. And it seems like I haven't looked at the build list recently to remember, but the first time I looked at it, it felt like there was a little bit of like everything in it. Like they threw the whole kitchen sink at the damn thing. Like it takes things that you would think would go into rig manufacturing, which obviously it's a module, so that makes sense. But then doesn't it take like minerals and PI too? I don't know. Maybe I messed that up. Maybe it's just really expensive. Dead Space loot maybe is all I'm thinking of, but I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can tell me.
Yep, and so moving on, they had their latest bi-weekly ban notice, and from May 23rd to June 5th, they banned 1,312 accounts. It appears most of which is abnormal anomaly behavior. That's nothing new there. Seems like the number's getting higher, though.
Yeah, I noticed
People
that.
keep trying.
That's kind of one of the things that I use for what I consider, size of the game, player health. We don't get any metrics on how many people are active on a daily basis, 24 hours, or at that specific hour. It'd be really nice to be able to see somewhere in the game, like they do on EVE Online, how many people are online at that moment. It'd be really nice to see that when you log in.
Yeah.
Just an interesting stat, and it wouldn't bother me if it was 20,000, if it was 50,000, if it was 100,000, if it was 5,000, whatever. It's the number. It's how many people are logged in. But
Yeah.
just seeing
Well,
seeing that number go up is good.
It's the people that are learning to evade their bot, and we've talked about it on the show on what that bot looks for in the game that considers it abnormal activity.
Yeah. So I
Has to
can
do
tell
with
you,
100% tax.
yeah, and I can tell you that they don't just ban you instantly. So we had a member, I won't go into any more details than that, but we had a member who didn't get banned for scripting, but they did get fined, and basically they have a negative balance in their account for a while until they can get caught up. And if they're caught scripting again, they're banned.
Wow.
So I think they can even layer this down to the point of being able to tell that that account isn't a bot, but that account is using scripting. So they can tell the difference between the two. I don't know how the hell they're doing that. I don't know what kind of scripting they were using. I think it was just more of to like maybe start up whatever they were doing in maybe not an anomaly, but maybe mining or something. I forget what they told me specifically, but it didn't sound like it was anything too crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure hotkeys are a bannable offense as well.
And that might have been it. It might have just been as simple
I've
as
seen
that.
people post screenshots of that. It's like, oh, you're posting screenshots and you can see all the hotkeys on your screen. Like, somebody can legitimately report that and get you banned.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else. Oh, remember back when people used to hold people hostage? This is before we were able to blow our own pod up,
Mm-hmm.
self-destruct. People that were held ransom for money. Well, the people that were doing the ransoming got found and were fined way back when, and that was like in the billions. That was a lot of money back then. If you remember that, that was way back in the Content Coalition War.
Yeah, I do. I do vaguely recall that. Yeah.
All right. We get sidetracked so easily. It's amazing.
We do. We said we weren't going to keep this part of it like less than 30 minutes.
We're going to keep it short.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, we're working on it. Yeah.
We're getting there.
The latest update from just the other day, a couple days ago now. Dear pilots of New Eden, Eve Echoes will undergo maintenance, blah, 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 blah. It'll take 120 minutes to complete. We already know that. Everybody, reminder to re-roll your Concord Pass. Also,
Yes.
since we're talking about
It's
it,
Thursday night. Get it done.
Don't launch that PI until you fix those.
Don't start mining. Don't start ratting. Get it done. And the PvP thing is in there. So if you don't see it right away, it's there.
Yep. The new content, they added some new content. They added new Eden Store updates. Packs removed. Okay. Skill points, lucky bag, and skill point special offer. I'm guessing those got removed.
Mm-hmm.
So they had some more packs get removed, some blueprint stuff. New event. The final rankings of the Inscription of the Galaxy, The Burning Night, will be publicized on the event page from June 10th to June 17th. So, yay, another event.
And then they went and posted the ranking announcements for Inscription of the Galaxy.
Right?
Right. Yep, there. I got them pulled up right now. You can see them. So on the recording anyway.
Yep, we'll be getting that here in a second. They do have some optimizations. They updated the price on successful transactions in the market like they do every week. Good deal. Added new limit for joining a corporation. Each corporation can accept up to 200 people per day. There ain't no commercial. There ain't no corporation adding 200 people a day.
Well, 200 is the limit, so I would think that of a corporation anyway. So I would think you wouldn't need to add more than 200 in a day. But I guess what they were trying to do there is part of that new recruit coming back thing. That they were probably, that's probably what they were doing there, is to try to eliminate people from going and being able to actually act. They brought in 400, 500, 600 people into the corp, but then kicked people out to get that number high. That might have been what they were doing. Yeah, and
join the bot farms.
Yeah, and Chicken posted something too that I was going to talk about. I almost forgot until he posted it, and it was a shadow update. They didn't even tell us they were going to do this, but there's two things they added onto the map, and the first one is the image he's got there in on-air chat, and it's about the mock starting point, mock destination, and the light years in terms of how many light years your jump is actually going to be in your carrier or your dreadnought, or soon to be your Rorqual. Is actually from one spot to another. So you don't have to go pull up EVI to calculate where you're going to be jumping from to figure out how far you can get or not get. You can do it all in game in the map now. So that was a sweet addition that they really should have highlighted, and they didn't. Both of those things.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't announce those additions to the game, but rather we get tutorials and Museum Arcana updates and stuff like that.
I, I don't. I don't know.
I think it's lost in translation.
I don't think it's lost in translation. I honestly think that the dev team that we know, that's the forward-facing dev team, and the dev team that actually makes changes is not the same group of people, and one hand doesn't talk to the other. There's no way in hell that if they are the dev team who then turns around and the one who writes up those announcements would not put in the light year jump range thing as part of the patch notes. That's huge.
Yeah.
I don't understand
They
that.
want to keep it secret. They want to keep it secret.
Oh, Lord.
So they added a guide to the road to set sail for training tutorials. They added a feature to stack and batch submit the same collection in Museum Arcana. Okay. They had some bug fixes. They fixed an issue where the damaged ORE ship hull could not be traded. They fixed an issue where drones would not orbit at optimal range. And they fixed an issue where the rate and bonus skill were incorrect when doing reverse engineering for the industrial module blueprint. Okay.
Okay.
So then next we had this announcement that they had where they talked about the Inscription of the Galaxy Burning Night, and it's come to an end, and they released the corporation leaderboards. So yeah, looking at these, the Inscription of the Galaxy ranking announcement, munitions leaderboard,
Mm-hmm.
HTP, Hell to Pay Industries, number one.
Number one.
Munitions score of 773 billion.
Man,
Yeah,
that's a lot of shit.
that is.
That's
That
just a lot of stuff.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few Chinese corporations in there in the top three. So you got 1, 2, 3. Xanadu is number 4, and Legio Fulminata was number 5.
Very good.
There's a lot of corporations in here that are familiar, needless to say. So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. That's
Hogs
cool to
down there
see.
at 20.
Drachenbuch, Black Moon Empire. I know a lot of these corps. Some of the Chinese ones I don't necessarily know though.
Well, it's
I
hard
don't
to.
see them.
I mean, if you don't read Chinese, it's hard to tell. One
Yeah.
corp name to the next.
So then here we get to the Spark leaderboard. So the Spark leaderboard, that was that corporation recruiting one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the first place had 255 Spark score. So that's 255 new players.
Into one corp.
Okay. Into one corp. Odin,
That
Valhalla
can
came
only
in
hold
second.
200.
Right. So they purged all their
Uh-huh.
previous membership and just basically restarted.
Right.
Valhalla got 179. Another Chinese corp was third place at 177. And then, yeah, I mean,
ZRQ
I didn't
on
even
there?
participate. See, number 20 had 30 people get it. They were probably like, I don't know. I didn't really participate in this event. Didn't really care for it.
I started to on the munitions side, realized really fast there was no way we could keep up. Just from the ISK income we'd have to constantly keep we were fine. We were in the top 20 for the first almost month, almost the first 30 days. But man, just the constant churn of the ISK, we just didn't have enough. We're not a big enough corp to be able to do that. We don't have 200 people in my corp, so that are active every day. If we did, okay, that's how you get way up there. But
Right.
so, but that's tough. That's tough to keep up with. And then of course this thing here with the Spark leaderboard, that's just whatever. I mean, could have had everybody drop corp and rejoin corp and gotten yourself in the top 10. I mean,
No.
what's the point of that?
How dare they tarnish their corp history like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
They taint it.
Yeah.
Taint it.
Yeah. It would be tainted.
I got 650 days in the same corp and I drop it because of this stupid event.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Exactly. No way. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is it for game news. And they didn't really have anything else as far as patch notes or media or whatever else. So then we will get into our next segment. So I invited a bunch of content creators, some official and some not. And I was hoping to get the list of new content creators from the community manager by now. And as you've seen in the on-air chat, Damon had posted a screenshot of me giving him a little beef about it. And yeah, we should be seeing some new content creators. From the time of the announcement was, let's see, what did I say? It's been 1 week since they announced the. It's been 1 week since the 31st when that was supposed to end. And it's been almost 2 weeks since they posted the announcement about the content creator program and the new content creators being added. And I got a response saying that it will be released or announced 24 to 48 hours later. And yeah, I had a maybe not so great emoji reply to that, but it is what it is.
I really thought when you said it's been 1 week, you were just going to slip right into the lyrics from the song.
It's been 1 week.
Yep.
So, what is going on with the content creators? Like, yeah, and I wanted to know the list so then I can invite them to the show and then we could talk about, we can hype their channels and all that stuff. Well, I didn't get that list, but I still want to talk to content creators to talk about upcoming content and all that stuff that they're doing currently. So in the studio now, I'm going to actually just go down the list and start unmuting. So I hope y'all are ready. We have Mackenzie with us. What's up, Mackenzie?
And I was shocked that she wasn't already an official content creator. That seems amazing.
Crimson King is with us as well. He's the famous Reddit writer.
Well, hello.
Hey. We got Chicken with us. What's up, Chicken?
What up?
And of course, Damon Zell is with us tonight as well. What's up, Damon?
The voice of New Eden.
The voice of New Eden.
Wait. So Damon's making New Eden content again? Is that what we're hearing?
I'm always making content.
He's still doing it.
I'm just giving you shit.
He didn't completely bail on us.
Yeah.
With Diablo. We got Ramblin' Rosalind from New Eden FM with us as well. What's up, Rosalind?
Today's content is brought to you by the letter C. C for content.
There you go. And and Rosalind, remember that Blap commercial that you'd sent me? That's now outdated. I need a new commercial.
Oh, all right.
A new Blap commercial. We just need the part that says, go Blap.
Right. And we got Scipio with us. What's up, Scipio?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Hey, thanks for attending. We're doing good. So what's going on? I know Crimson, you haven't unmuted yet. Oh, actually, you have. We spoke with you, but I was going to say you posted some stuff this morning on Reddit. I seen a couple articles.
Oh yeah, I had a the story behind a lost mail that I have for my praxis. So, and then I think the one that I'm most proud of from last week was the adventures of a hurricane escaping gate camps galore and an attack on the Tuna Citadel. So
nice.
Just good adventure stories.
They're always fun to read. I appreciate them.
So with the others, what else is new? Chicken, I think you'd said you had a recent video on this this update with the mock starting points, right?
Yeah. I had already planned and hadn't recorded it yet to do another video on court missions and how to do tax evasion with that. And I happened to be in a fleet first thing in the morning, right after the patch, and I'm trying to find my way out, and I look at something and that pops up, and I'm like, are you serious? This just what? And of course I didn't touch any of the buttons to figure out what it was and jump to conclusions and made a video on it. So I now have my first correction, but I was partially right. The really cool thing about it is that it shows it doesn't give you like the map like if you autopiloted there, but it gives you a straight line and a light year estimate. So and you can choose the start and stop points. So I was regularly hearing, whether I was in TF comms or whether I was in no comms or whether I was in contracted comms, I was hearing like, I was supposed to be able to jump from here. Dotland says I can do that. Why can't I do? And now they won't be faced with that. You can actually plan your route and know, will I be able to jump from here to here? And I think that's super
Right.
cool. I think that's going to really open up kind of the usability of caps. And in general, I'm just excited when they add QOL stuff. So of course I put that
Yeah.
video, the tax video on back burner and was like, everybody, oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see if it actually applies your skill level to it, as in like it gives you a number and then the number goes red if it's too far, based on your skill. That'd be cool. So let me know.
Yeah, I didn't see that. The person who posted the screenshots of it was showing like a 4.97 light year line, and there was no, it was just a white number.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna venture to guess it doesn't factor that in.
Hmm.
In full disclosure, though, I have no idea if this guy had any Sino skills. In general, I I would assume that most people don't talk on their Dread or Sino character.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
could be
mean,
wrong.
I'm 5.54, and I should be able to go like 5.6 light years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that
Uh,
that sounds about right.
yeah, yeah. Next time you're in game, just do Jitta to somewhere in Delve and see if it gives you a red number.
Yeah, way far. Not that you'd ever
It'll be
take it to
question marks.
Jita. Yeah, it'd be question marks. You can't
Yeah.
go there. But yeah, I'll try something. I
This
noticed it
route
was
is
there, and I hadn't had
impossible.
time to play with it.
So, of the CCs that are in here, how many applied to the program and have heard something back?
Negative contact on my end, but I think that's mostly because I don't have like a website or a channel or anything like that. Kind of just exist on the fringes.
Did you get
I
any sort of reply to do a like sign an NDA?
Not as far as I've seen. It was just the Google form, and that was about it.
Yeah, for myself, I I didn't read one of the fine print things when I first applied, and so a month later, when I actually qualified, I applied again, and assuming that it was like an ongoing thing, and that's when I was told by one of the moderators in chat, like, you've applied, don't apply again. You can apply the next time they run this opening. So long story short, at this point in time, I qualify. The only reason I didn't qualify before was because I hadn't had the 100 subscribers for a month. Um, but at this point now, I've 150 subscribers, and I'm meeting all the marks that they want for the low tier.
Yeah, they're entry
I
level.
wouldn't assume that I don't get looped in on the NDA stuff, so it would make sense that I wouldn't get an NDA, but I haven't been contacted in any way. I've been regularly checking their webpage just to see if they were announced it. I didn't even see your little thing, so knowing that it's announced in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm like, sweet.
That was 2
That's
days
a
Yeah.
ago.
bold assumption to assume that there's anything worth discussing under NDA.
Right. Yeah, and
We
content
hear
creators
everything
have,
at the same time you guys.
yeah,
Well,
and we've
no,
complained about it.
but yeah, what was it? They didn't say that they were gonna start looping anybody into pre-info until this set of things, and um, yeah, so that's why, like, if you're the 500 tier or above, like an actual content creator instead of a junior one, I think you might get contacted in future info, but I don't know. That's an assumption that is probably wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. We have another kind of touchy subject we'll touch base with here in a second as to what happened in the CC channel the other day. But Scipio, what's new with your channel?
I've been a bad content creator. I probably am about to lose my status.
Oh no.
I know. Work's been killing me. But no, I mean, honestly, if I don't lose for inactivity, I'll say I think my next couple of videos might just do the trick to get me kicked out. I think I'm gonna try to light a fire on devs. I think just we've seen a lot of great content stuff in the past with coming out, but I think that there are some pretty glaring things that we've all kind of known for a while, and I think it's just frustrating as a long-term player that we haven't really been able to see things that seem pretty simple or pretty, um, I'll say, pretty common sense. Uh, Damon Zell's mentioned it a number of times about advertising like that, trying to get new players into the game. Barriers to entry for new players, things like that, that I think are hurting the game in the long run. And so, I think my channel is really going to start being some of that. Actually, videos hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but it's just kind of one of those things that I hope that we can kind of rally the community a little bit and make the devs actually respond and hopefully make the game better for everybody.
Yeah, we could only hope. Jeez, we pull their legs so much. I'm surprised it's this much of a hassle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the hard part is that we all love the game, right? We all have been playing this thing. I'm gonna venture a guess almost 2 years for most of us now, and to see the player counts where they are. I know you were mentioning earlier, Taylor, about the being able to log in stuff, but I mean, I remember when Jita they had to raise the limit to 1,500, and last couple of times I've logged in, it's barely 400.
Yeah.
So I know that's not completely indicative of the player base, but I think it is a little telling, kind of where we are, and I think it needs a bit of a kick in the pants if we're gonna be able to keep playing this long term.
Yeah, and I don't disagree that it needs a kick in the pants. So don't take this next comment wrong. But I think looking at the
Mm-hmm.
numbers of players in Jita and saying, "Oh my God, it's way down because it used to be 1,500 and now it's 400, maybe barely every once in a while I see 500." I don't really take that as much of an indication as we've lost 2/3 of the player count, because back in the day when it was 1,500, how many people even lived in Null? In the first 6 months of
Right.
the game, very few people had moved that far down south or north or east or west. A lot of people are in low sec still doing story missions every damn day. And so, I don't know. I take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. I agree that numbers are down. I don't necessarily look at the Jita numbers. The two numbers that I look at,
I agree.
the two numbers
I
that I
agree
look
with you,
at,
for the record.
yeah, the two numbers that I look at, those ban notices, that's one I look at. They're going up, and I actually have been watching the actual Eve Discord channel, because there's a number up at the top of how many people are subscribed to that channel, or actually, on the channel, or whatever you call it. It's not called subscription, whatever. They're actually in the channel.
Yeah,
They can actually get on.
They're in the server, right?
They're on the server, yeah. So, and it's 75,000. A little in between. Sometimes I've seen it at 76,000, and now it's back around 75,500. But it goes back and forth. And you would think if a ton of players were quitting, they would just totally get off that server and say fuck it. So that doesn't mean that's how many people are playing the game, but it's something, right? So it's I don't know. I think the real player count is probably somewhere between 20,000 and 70,000, 50,000. I mean, maybe on a good day
and
it's
I agree
40,
with that.
but and it used to be 1 million. It used to be. I mean, when the game first started, there was no way that there wasn't 1 million or 2 million people in this game, because you could see the uptick numbers of who's downloading the app. You don't really get those numbers anymore either. But yeah, and there was advertising for it, so I agree that needs to come back too. So
Yeah,
something.
well, and I agree with you. Jita's not a great indicator, but to your point earlier, until we actually get real numbers, it's kind of hard,
Yeah.
To use anything else, right? Or
True.
you can use some of these other things kind of anecdotally, but I think that regardless, I don't think anybody's gonna say, we have the player base that we used to, or that because I mean, I think part of the problem for me is that Diablo Immortal and Damon Zell being a traitor and jumping over and all that stuff, and I'm totally kidding, obviously, but I'm playing that as well, and it's hard when you have immediate content, right, that you then can jump into and immediately get into, versus having to fly around Null and not see anything for 30, 45 minutes in a lot of cases, unless you've got maybe one or two systems that have 20 people in it. So I mean, I don't think that it's I don't think that we're in in-game dire straits or anything like that at this point, but I do think that there's some discussions that need to be had, and hopefully can get some good changes to bring more people in.
No, I can agree with that. Yeah, I don't think it's dire straits either, but yeah, definitely need a nice influx of new, fresh players. There is plenty of empty space, that's for damn sure, and it's not just in Void.
Yep.
The, Scipio, you weren't the only one to say that you possibly will lose your CC status due to lack of content. And now that I think of his name, I totally forgot to invite him to the show. But Space Karen,
Oops.
probably
Yeah,
lose
I
it.
Mhm.
was thinking of space carrying. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so,
Yeah, life
and
gets busy, man.
possibly
It's
many
tough to put
others.
out as much as they want.
Yeah, we don't all make our living off of Eve Echoes and Infinite Lagrange, which is pronounced Lagrange, but whatever.
Lagrange.
Like the guy in Zimbabwe does. But it's he could post a video every day. Okay, great, good for him. Like I got other things to do too. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, real quick, let's hear what New Eden FM has been doing. How's it going, Mackenzie? You haven't spoke yet. I haven't heard you yet.
Yeah, that's because I have a really good habit of muting the microphone if I'm not saying anything. It
Yeah.
works wonders when you're ready to edit, right?
Yeah. So
But
how's New
yes,
Eden FM doing?
right. Good evening, and looks like I got my homeboy here, Rosalind No Spy. We're doing pretty well. I think that yes, it is shocking as it is. We're not yet considered to be content creators, which has been something of an upheaval or something of the cause of an upheaval amongst the content creation community. Since we do, of course, do the show every Sunday, we have consistent content. The biggest problem I think with them is that because we don't use the YouTube format, they don't see the value in the content that we're creating. Maybe
yeah,
that
which
will
is so
change.
wrong. That's just so wrong.
Right, right. Because you can of course monetize SoundCloud or whatever else if you want to. But the reason we don't use YouTube is simply because we're part entertainment, right? We're part music radio. So we try to have a little bit of fun and do different things with that. But it would just be incredibly expensive if we were paying for copyrights every single Sunday. I mean, you can
Yeah.
imagine how much music we go through in a month's time just alone, right? So that is the reason why we don't use YouTube. We could, if we wanted to, probably cut all the like just the talk portions out of it and put that up there. But it just feels like what makes it special if we just start like butchering it for the sake of putting YouTube videos up there, right?
Yeah, that would lose so much of the energy and flavor. Because I've done that. You guys used to do that where you would post those up with just the audio only, and I stopped listening to those and I went back and listened to the 4 hour long versions with the music.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that a lot of people do love. The fact that we do things differently. We do have music, and when they do it, we will take the request during the shows, and in much ways, it does operate like an actual radio station. I work for one, so I would know. But I mean, it is fun. I did register the show to be a content creator. Maybe they will say that okay, we'll give you a shot as a content creator. Maybe they'll tell me to go screw myself. Either way, we do the show
Pound sand.
for the fun, right? We do the show for the
Right.
fun of it, and every Sunday we typically have a pretty good turnout, which is great because Sundays can be a little bit iffy for different people.
Yeah. Well, turns out Sunday is now my busiest day of the week
Jeez, how'd that happen?
because I'm in full house demolition right now,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
so I have to take I take the weekends because we send the baby girl to a relative's for her to be watched, and then my wife and I are demolishing a house. So the weekend is the best time for that for us. So um, yeah, but I'll catch the radio show when I can.
Yeah, definitely. I
Typically,
mean,
I listen to it on SoundCloud after the fact.
yeah. I'm trying to get a little bit better at making sure those get posted in a timely manner, which is harder than you think when you're a full-time DJ music producer and you're still a college student. It's kind of bonkers.
Oh yeah,
But we are talking about like raising the bar a little bit because what we've always tried to do is kind of like keep things entertaining. That's one of the fun things we can do for the show is to keep it entertaining, keep it funny, and just be do things that you probably won't find in many of the other content creators arsenal. And so there used to be this meme when we first started doing the show. I think somewhere around like episode 10 or 12. Where someone would just come in and say live from Jita. It was this weird thing. And, um,
Do you like a
yeah,
reporter?
yeah, either that or like a hype man, right? Just get your MC to stand up there and go live from Jita. I can't do it because I don't have the vocal cords for it. I think Rosalind could pull it off.
Oh yeah, Rosalind could with that smooth voice.
Oh my
From
gosh, that is
downtown.
such a smooth criminal. But as it turns out, I was actually with Alondria and Achieved on last Sunday, and I think one of them actually brought up a really good idea. It's like, you know what you guys should do? You guys should actually do like pick a spot every single Sunday, pick a spot in the game, and host a radio show from that spot. So and people can literally turn local into the Sound of Us chat. For those of you that have never tuned into the show, you know that the Sound of Us is basically this huge party chat where we just like kind of like goof off and have a good time, post our comments, make fun of Linwood, whatever whatever happens to be on the menu for that day, we do it over there. But they were like, you know what, we should actually just do this from different locations in New Eden, and in turn local chat into that, and then they could use the Sound of Us whenever they want to post like memes or gifs or whatever. And I think that could be kind of interesting. And Rosalind would have been there, but he decided to play hooky last week. anyways, I know we are coming up on our 30th episode, so I don't know. I mean, I think that we might try it. We might try it, see what happens, see if people actually fly all the way out there to high sec. I don't think that I got too many people in favor of doing it in like low sec, and we certainly can't do it in null
I was
because
gonna say,
we
you should do it in null and then post up
we
where
could do it
you're
in
at.
null.
That'd be great content.
We could do it in null, and I could tell people, hey guys, like I am literally in this system. And by the way, I'm not doxxed, so if you find me, if you
Yeah,
find me,
so
then congrats. Like do something crazy like Matty
Yeah.
Hunt, right? He
Yeah.
always just like loads his cargo hold with a bunch of really expensive stuff so that when someone kills him they can get like a really fat kill mail off of him.
Or load
You know,
up a Naglfar with vertical supremacy integrated rigs and watch it blow up in front of a 50-man,
There you go.
70-man
that
fleet for no reason.
that was a very dreadful day. No
That
pun
was
intended.
just
Right?
crazy. That was crazy.
But
Talking
All right.
about the X-Type day.
I think he jumped the K4 gate a little bit too early.
He did, yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, 125
well,
billion too early.
Oh, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to my recollection, we did have him on the show. I think maybe 2 weeks after that, because Ross decided that it would be fun to poke the bear and start the game show. Where's
Yeah.
is this a Maddie? So we invited him to the show, and he was like, "Oh no, I totally intended to hop that gate, do what I was gonna do, and then live." But none of his modules went off, and so he was basically just one big fat sitting duck in a multi-billion-esque Naglfar, and it was painful. We were sitting right in the next system, and we just like we
Oh
were sitting
God.
there, and so someone just like post what Tahini had to say in Discord, and like and I quote, "That was painful to watch."
Yeah,
That's pretty
it
much
was.
it. You can't say anything else, but
Yeah.
the show is doing pretty well. That's the kind of humor that we get to enjoy over there. So I would just say, if you've never gotten to be there, or if you get to you listen to the show on SoundCloud after it's been posted, uh, consider dropping in for one of the live shows. I think that what makes it special is that people are actually getting involved in the conversation, very similar to the way that it happens on this podcast, right? People get in, and everything is live, nothing is really scripted. We can be a little bit harsh on the devs, but I mean, as every other content creator said, it's really just because we care about the game. We would like it to be here for a long time, and if you think that your excrement smells like roses, we're going to expose you. So it's just the way that we do content over there.
No, it's a great show. Yeah, I would second that. Anybody who wants to get over there on a Sunday afternoon U.S. time zone, it's fun. It's a great show to listen to.
Yeah.
Yes, she means shit,
And
Titino. We can say shit on this show. It's fine.
I wasn't sure. You see, I didn't know what all places we were going to have this, but yeah, I was
Yeah, this is a explicit podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Parental guidance is advised on the label.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
So, and real quick, Taylor, plug the content that you're now doing. And last week we just released the first YouTube short,
Mhm.
and you had it on the industrial structure. And I've been hearing good things about it.
Insurance structure, yeah. And then I actually put one up after the fact to try to learn exactly how that thing works. And lo and behold, it actually does kind of sort of work. And the first 24 hours, I made 184 million in profit off of it. So I'll have an update to that next week. So it's kind of, yeah, that's right. This is a kid's show, for fuck's sake, as one of the guys on air chat said. Anyway, so yeah, those will be coming out every Monday. I'm going to try to keep them short. 5-6. I say 5-6 minutes. The first one was like 8.5. So maybe I'll try to keep them all under 10. I don't know. I'll try to keep them short, little Monday clips for as deep as you can get in 5 to 6 minutes, right? But specific topics that maybe do, but maybe don't really get covered. Like I know there's a lot of times we talked about insurance, but did anybody actually talk about what it looks like to get a contract, how you fill that contract, and then how you can tie that into the new corporation market and make money off of it for your corp? No. And that's one of the things I'll be talking about. Does anybody really ever talk about in depth, how a corporation makes money? Just real quick, how does your corporation make money? And I'm going to give you like 5 or 6 ways to do that maybe you haven't thought of before. How do people play this game if they're only T6? When we all started 2 years ago now, everybody was inside the same tier system, and we were almost all leveling up at the same time. Well, it's totally different now for someone who's trying to get into this game and they're tier 4, tier 5. They're looking around, what the hell do they do? And there's somebody in a tier 10, whatever, a capital command ship. They're getting killed left and right. They can't run story missions like we used to back in the day. How do you play the game now? And I'll have some tips and tricks and ideas, some out-of-the-box thinking of, ways to play the game even at T4, T5, T6, and make money doing it. So that'll be the kinds of stuff we'll be doing on the shorts on Mondays.
Yeah. So there's some more good YouTube content there, and hopefully that'll increase our subscriber count. Then maybe we would be considered official Evaco's content creators.
Because who knows? You are and I'm not, so that's funny. But whatever. You did doing it longer than I have, so that's obvious. But
and you did fill out the form and all that stuff, right? This is confirming because
yeah.
Nobody's heard anything, it seems.
No, haven't heard a damn thing.
So, and Damon, we'll get to you here next. And you'd already hinted that your next episode's going to have some juicy stuff in it. So the last couple days in the CC channel has been a shit show, needless to say. We lost two content creators in the debate. Big Skillet left the server, and Voxel left the server as official content creators. So they legitimately backed themselves out of the program. As to what everything, like what was said and all that, it was just a lot of back and forth. Game monetization. Well, Damon Zell's leaking screenshots. Damon Zell, from your perspective, how are things going in that sense?
Crickets.
You're muted there, Chief.
There you go.
Sorry, dealing with the truck. I'm gonna get this truck drive on my lane. Anyway, I'm gonna man. No, it's a total shit show. And I'm going into it because there's a lack of, because of a certain game that launched recently. There is a lack of news within New Eden other than demons have basically invaded space and everyone's hiding. Yeah, it's just basically like going back like a year ago to the CC where people would just out of nowhere just call somebody out on just some random crap and just start drama for no reason. To give a little background, Voxel, a German content creator from Silent Federation, called out several content creators, myself, Big Skillet, Benzi, Scipio, a few others, for making content for Diablo Immortal, and how dare we, because they are predatory monetization models that should be illegal. What's it? Um, so he called all of us out on supporting that, and basically told us that we should boycott the game, tell our communities to boycott the game, inform our communities on this, and basically trying to tell us what we should and should not promote on our own channels. And the debate got heated. Big Skillet was already dealing with a bunch of crap. He didn't want to deal with it, so Scipio can back me up. Scipio, myself, and Big Skillet are in a group chat for something that we're doing, and he basically just said, fuck it. He just left the server. He was done. He washed his hand of the CC program, and Voxel then turned it around on everyone else like it was all our fault, and then he left the server and the content creator program. So it was a very, very odd 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever seen anything that Voxel's done, so I don't know. But boy, Big Skillet's a big loss. I've always enjoyed his stuff.
Well, Voxel's a big loss too. He's got quite. He's probably he's up there as far as subscribers goes. He's got a big following.
Is he?
And he's primarily German content on YouTube. Now, another part of that conversation was making bashing content. Like, every video that you make is bashing the game, et cetera, et cetera. And I try not to do that. Is it realistic? Is it truthful? Yeah, it is. It's, we should be getting more info and stuff like that. Or this module sucks. Why did this game even get it incorporated into the game? Stuff like that. There's considerable bashing, but then when it's a content creator making videos specifically bashing every single video, then I think they're kind of on their way out as it is.
But you get to the point of, if you're just bashing every video, why are you even playing the game?
Yeah.
Negative input, negative output.
Yeah, trash in, trash out.
Yep.
And that's, in fact, in the new content creator, anyone who's aspiring to be a content creator, in the new rules that they were saying, that's one specific rule they put up there, is not to bash basically the game. Try not to always push a negative outlook on the game, or bash your fellow content creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Achieved's most recent video, and admittedly it was on Diablo Immortal, but the general topic of it was what some of the videos I'm putting out are trying to do, which is, sure, you the developers want you to spend all this money, but you don't have to. Just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And in Echoes, you kind of have to create that content. So if you're bitter about it not being the way you want it, then go try to create that. I definitely feel what Scipio was saying about how you fly around for 30 minutes and you don't find nothing. But that's what kind of led me to that's what led me to know, was that there was always something to do. And I think that each at least at my time zone, and I think that people have kind of found their groups and their niches, and a lot of them are crossing over each other. How many times do you see somebody who's red in space and you're like, bro, how have you been? It's been a while.
Yeah.
All the time, actually.
Well, and
That's a really fun thing about this game. That point.
And to push the point that they were trying to make in there, yes, the new game does have, it's put out by the same publisher. It's put out by NetEase. So yes, it's also a mobile game first. So the monetization is going to be there. The thing is, the monetization is also in our game as well, pretty much the same way. But the only difference is, yes, you can swipe your credit card for a $1,200 carrier or a faction battleship, but you need the skills to actually fly it effectively. So yeah, you can be in it, but you're going to die quick.
Yeah.
And we're going to notice in a little preview of what's coming, there's going to be a new event on the horizon, which is going to be a whale event. And the only reason I know this is because they basically told us in the content creator section that for the upcoming event, they're going to release discount codes again, kind of like with the Neon Rain event. So it's not just one genre that's trying to take your wallet away from you. So just everyone just grin and bear it. We're going to have another whale event coming.
So what folks need to realize is that the money grubbing, the gotcha elements, those are a factor of the industry these days. Like when you have um, big main releases on console or Steam or whatever that already have microtransactions and the like, the folks who pioneered it, mobile games, they're gonna have it guaranteed. Doesn't matter what genre.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I think
that's the
you're
good
right.
that's the good thing about our game we're playing right now, right? And I still strongly believe this, even though I gripe about certain things. It is the best game on mobile that I've ever played, ever, and I don't have to pay anything over basic Omega if I don't want to, and I still get the same experience that someone does who pays $15 a month for Duo and pays $15 a month or whatever for their Concord Pass and puts in 499R every time that comes around and does all the whale events and everything else and maybe spends $500 or $600 in a month easy, which you can do almost every month if you really try. But you don't have to do that, and you still get the same gameplay experience. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
Just like the content is up to you. Just like the way you want to play the game is up to you. So I think it's
Plus,
great.
when you get to a
Well,
certain
and I think
point
that
in this game, you can actually just pay for your Omega with in-game currency. You can
You
just
can. You can.
buy Plex and fund your Omega, so you're not even paying for your Omega.
Exactly.
Right.
Scipio, you were going to say something. Sorry.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say I think the other thing that we focus a lot on the monetization of that stuff. There have been a number of videos, especially about Diablo Immortal, that are talking about, oh my God, some $1,000 for the best gear or whatever it is, and we can go into the microtransactions that looks like, but I think the thing to recognize that as a content creator, and that I've talked to other people about as well, you have the ability to set the your channel and to say what kind of stuff you want to make, and you, like you just said, Taylor, right? In the same way that you make content in the game, if you're making content for Echoes, you get to decide that type of tone and thumbnails and titles and
Yep.
all that. Part of the um, part of the allure, right, of some of the bashing is that people are natively more likely to click on a negative headline than a positive one.
Sure.
And so it's a fine line to tread of, are you be negative Nancy all the time, get the views, or do you feel like you can be, call it fair and balanced, call it positive, call it what you want, but where are you going to fall in that spectrum, right? And I think that part of the discussion that we need to have as just as a community, right, is how are we going to approach that? Because like Damon Zell said, that is in the new rules, right? So if you want to be a creator for Eve Echoes, it's going to be very interesting to see how they police that and how they limit some of that. Because if you do decide to go, kind of down that path of being a little bit more negative and having the shock value of a lot of this stuff, you may get used in the short term, but there may be other consequences. Not just from a reputational perspective, but also now from some of the official devs and the access that you get and all that. And we can argue censorship or whatever else there is at the topic for time. But I think it's definitely something that especially new creators need to be aware of, because it is very, very tempting to put those headlines out and those titles out and to try to get those immediate views and get those numbers.
Yeah, it's always a balance.
Yep.
It's always a balance act.
So I think this show's been pretty fair and balanced. We don't do too much bashing on this show, but I genuinely like the game as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
I can't agree with everything all the time, but I do have my opinions.
I think it's
But
fair to be
generally speaking,
critical, but if you're gonna take the time to make something, I think it's better to put positivity out there. And if you can't find something positive about the game to talk about, then you find something positive about your community to talk about.
there
Truth.
you go.
Like
That's how you build a
it,
community. Like,
it's also fair for them to ask of their official people, please say nice things. I
Mhm.
they
Sure.
I think it'd be wrong for them to like cut anyone who was critical. But um, I love the dude, but at the same time, like one of the reasons I loved Sovereign was because he was salty all the fucking time. But at the same time, like the salt like was a mix of like this is how you do it, but I wish it was this way. And then it just there was no this is how you do it. It was just a bunch of I wish it was this ways. And everybody knew when he was kind of stepping away and stuff like that. But you know, I kind of liked his personality. I wish he was still around.
Yeah, and I mean, you can. There's a lot of ways that you're critical, right? And even in some of my videos in the past, I try to be critical and point out where the issues are, but then also provide a solution, or say, hey, this is what I would love to see, and here's how it could work. Because at that point, to me at least, in my perspective, you're not just bashing on the game. You're saying, hey, let's find a solution because we all love this game and we want it to be better, right? And I think that's the type of thing that I like to strike in my channel because
Yeah.
it would be a disservice to always be rainbows and butterflies, everything's great, but I want to have I want to be able to be critical in some other ways as well.
Sure.
Well, let's take the lesson from the CC channel this last week and continue with making good content and go on from there. Hopefully, we will get the announcement soon for new CCs. I'm still, with that when that conversation was going down between the group that was going at it, I tried changing the conversation 3 times and it just got glazed over. But anyway.
If I
So
since we're
yeah,
talking content, could I promote some upcoming content?
yeah,
Sure.
I have nailed down the date of my freighter raid. It's going to be Friday on the 24th of this month at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 p.m. UTC time. Unfortunately, because of I couldn't nail down a date earlier, so the devs can't give me any modules to stuff inside the freighter. Not like they would, but they say it would have to be at least a month out for them to do that for me. But with real life going on and work scheduling, I only just figured out when to nail down the time. But it's gonna happen around there. I'm gonna have some tricks up my sleeve to make it fun for everybody. But it's gonna be a good time, like I said. And if anyone still wants to donate, I know someone hit me up originally with some promise of Capital Rex as well as a fully fit Nightmare. If they just want to DM me, because what we're gonna do is we're not gonna put that actually in the freighter. If the person's still good and wants to donate that Nightmare, the person who gets the kill mail, the killing blow, is gonna win the Nightmare. And I
Nice.
have a fully fit Tempest Striker, and that's gonna go to top damage on the kill mail, and then anything else that falls. Of course, we'll give out some Omega combos as well for it as well.
sweet.
Sounds good.
Dang. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a good Friday night.
Hey, Taylor, do you have a co-host for next week?
No, but I can get one.
All right, yeah, that's next week already. I know
Okay.
time is flying.
Okay.
Yeah, so if everybody else is done, we'll cut to that commercial break, and then we will get to who wants to be a billionaire. I think people have been anticipating that. So, oh snap, Snacks is already wanting a co-host.
That might be fun. I'll talk to him.
All right, during the commercial break, spam the on-air chat with X's, and Taylor will choose a random person for the game show. And those who are Xing up, please be able to view a stream and talk on comms, please.
Yeah, that's a requisite right there.
All right,
Go for it.
be right back.
You're listening to Echoes of New Eden.
Are you tired of ticks so small she say you ain't got no ticket on? Then what you need is to come on down and join the Council of Ricks today. We got everything. T10 anomalies, T10 rallies. We even got T10 mining. You wanna kill some motherfuckers? Come on down, we killing motherfuckers all the time.
Are you tired of being a Jerry? Tired of your ships always going down in flames? Wish you could ride like a pickle? And come join us at the Council of Rick C-137, where we have loads of T10 riding. Just look at those explosions. Mining ore and industry more up your alley? Then come join our powerhouse fleet and participate in one of our mini events. Want fleet PvP? Join up and be a SEAL Team Rick. Become a member of an elite task force. So come live the good life and know with C-137, Council of Ricks. We'll be waiting. Proud member of the Care Bears with Gun Alliance and Silent Federation.
Phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2s. Phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2s. Phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2s. Hi, I'm Cal Scarge from Master and Barges and CEO of phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2 Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a lack of buy orders, I am currently overstocked with phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2s, and I'm passing the savings on to you! Need to use Corp buyback? Fill those orders. Cloak when enemies enter system. Smash rocks for hours. Never attend CTAs. Have really blingy lost mails. Annoy your courtmates by blasting techno music. Or just mine AFK while you work all day. Whatever your phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2 needs are. Come on over to CalScarge's phenomenally overpowered and integrated industrialized laser lighting strip mining coveter 2 Emporium and Warehouse today. 0V0R Declan.
Now throw your X up.
All right, and we are back. There's a slightly extended commercial break so we can get a large number of X's and it looks like the on-air chat has plenty of X's. So Taylor, go ahead, grab us our contestant, our first contestant.
I had my finger pointing at the screen, and whenever the ad stopped, that's whoever the name was on the screen is who was getting called, and that was Titan Tito.
Titan Tito. All right.
God, that gif kills me, Rosalind. Jesus, every time I see that. Get that shit off. Somebody else X up. Get that shit off the screen. God, that's horrible. With the fingers underneath the eyelids. Oh. Titan Tito, man.
Is Titan Tito?
He's here. You got
Is he unmuted?
I don't know. Let me go and unmute him.
I got it.
Got it? Okay.
There you go. Titan Tito. Titan Tito. There you go. All right.
I am so screwed.
Oh, you don't even know.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to be streaming my screen here in a second, and we will get the show on the road. So let me stream first, and then I'll open my, let's see, share my screen. And watch the screen. And for those that want to watch, go ahead and watch. I suppose you don't have to. I suppose you can just listen as well. So we will go live. Okay. Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, Eve Echoes edition. We have Titan Tino with us. What's going on, Titan Tino?
What's going on?
We are great here. Oh man, my impression sucks.
It's
but
so
anyway,
bad. It's so bad. I want everybody to hear it.
Shout out to who is our logo maker here? It was Samuel Darth, right?
Yeah, Samuel Darth, who does all of the Kingsman posters and stuff. who does a phenomenal job. This logo is fantastic. The Who Wants to Be a Billionaire logo. He did a great job.
Yes. Phenomenal freaking logo. It's amazing. So anyway, we'll get on with the show. So this show is sponsored by Legio Fulminata. Strike hard, strike fast. Legio Fulminata. They are the ones that are supplying the money, the ISK, for the winners. And so thank you to them.
Yep, it's awesome.
All right, so Titan Tito, you're watching the screen, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we go. Here is the winning ladder. First question starting at 10 million ISK and going all the way up the ladder. Number 14 is, that number 14 question is 2 billion ISK. You walk away with that. And of course, at level 5 and level 10, once you reach that, there's no going back. You walk away with that amount once you pass it. So, good deal. I'm sure you pretty much know how this game is played. With that, you get lifelines. You get a 50-50 lifeline. 2 of the wrong answers will be removed. You get a phone a friend lifeline. Choose a person in the studio audience to ask the question to. And then also, you get to ask the audience. A poll will be created asking the audience the question, and they will be able to vote on that poll. And you can make your judgment of answer there. Taylor will be running the lifelines, and so when you want to use one, just tell him, and he'll get you sorted out. Sound good?
Great.
Are you ready? Here we go. First question. For 10 million, what show are you on? Echoes from the Front, Echoes of New Eden, Catskull Academy, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Go with A. Final answer.
What?
Really?
He said A, right?
I did.
Okay.
Do you want to use a lifeline?
Am I wrong?
Oh my god, that's how it's done right there. Boom. Yeah, you're wrong. Thanks for coming to the show, everybody.
It's late for me, man.
I'm dying.
Oh god.
Okay, we're gonna. I mean, if we're gonna be fair here, you're done, and we start over and get somebody else.
All right. Okay, Taylor, please sort that out.
Yeah, I'm sorting it out. We're looking for X's. We're looking for X's. Keep going. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Shit. Yadi Shah 96. It's going so fast. Yeah. Adisha 96. That's where my finger was at when I said 3, 2, 1. You guys can stop Xing. So I'll mute Titan. Oh my gosh, he left. Titan Tino said I'm done and left. Poor guy. Rip.
He didn't know what show he was on. I thought that was an easy question.
I know. It's so funny. Yadashi 96, you're unmuted. Can you answer this question?
Yep.
And you know the rules, everything, lifelines, everything. I don't have to go over that.
Go for it. Answer it.
Echoes of New Eden. B.
There you go.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Good deal. 10 million. 10 million in the bank so far. Next question for 25 million. In Rust We Trust is a common saying for what faction? Minmatar, Caldari, Galente, or Blood Raider?
Minmatar.
You got it. We're rocking.
Actually, can someone send me the choices of lifelines real quick?
50-50. phone a friend, and poll.
Okay.
Audience poll.
Can you just DM me the choices
Sure, I'll do that right now.
or the screenshot?
Okay. All right. Next question for 50 million. Which one of these mods can be fitted as a low slot? MK9 small pulse laser, MK9 damage control, MK9 night, auxiliary thrusters 2.
Damage control. Mark 9. V.
You got it. See, these questions ain't so bad, huh?
I neither confirm nor deny.
Don't let them fool you. Number 4 for 75 million. Which type of rocks are spawned in intumescent belts? Veldspar, morphite, condensed, compressed.
Condensed.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You got it. 75 million. Next one's for 100 million. You get this one right, you walk away with 100 million guaranteed. Which weapon type has the longest range? Strike cannons, beam lasers, large missiles, fighter drones.
Does include optimal and fall off. Is it optimal and fall off too? Or just optimal?
I would say in combination, right, Taylor?
Yes.
Cannons.
Is that your final answer? You haven't
Yes.
used any of your lifelines, by the way.
Cannons.
It's fighter drones.
Wait.
Fighter drones.
Fighter drones.
500 km.
Oh,
Yep.
I forgot about that.
500
I thought
kilometers
that
for
said
fighter
drones.
Yep.
Like normal drones.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
that's a bummer. That's number 2. We haven't given out any more ISK. I think on the
No.
ladder, yeah, there's no starting point. So 100 million is the checkpoint. So I think we got time for another contestant.
Okay. Cool. Start exit up.
I'll load up game 2.
Yep. No shit. Don't hold on. Don't do anything. Everybody can see that on the recording.
No, it's fine.
Well, I don't want to see the answers if you pull up something. Okay.
They don't see
Keep Xing.
these.
Okay, good. Well, they see your entire screen that you just had up. Okay. Keep Xing. Keep Xing. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Lelouch 07. Lelouch 07.
Come on, let's give away some ISK.
Unmute your mic. Watch the live stream, Lelouch. Where are you at on the thing here? I'll get him. There he is, and he's unmuted. Lelouch, you're muted on your end, buddy.
All right, sorry, I was choking on a Cheez-It.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, hopefully that doesn't affect your game. You know the rules, right? You know the lifelines? I suggest you use them.
Yes.
If you're unsure, I suggest you use them, please.
All right.
You know the ladder. 2 billion being the max, 14 questions. We'll get right into it. Here's your lifelines. Taylor will be handling the lifelines for you, so that'll be good. And we'll start it. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, for 10 million, which ship module can scan the location of other pilots? A narrow resonance scanner, a Sinosuro field generator, a relic analyzer, or Concord police dog?
An arrow.
Final answer?
Yep, I'm an explorer pilot. I know this.
Got it. All right. Next question for 25 million. How much Plex is needed for basic Omega? 100, 170, 500. Corp Omega is free.
170.
There it is. Okay, next question. 50 mil. These seem easy so far, right? Now, believe me, they get
Yeah.
harder.
I don't want to know the results. I'm just hoping.
A Hictor uses which fitting? Interdiction sphere launcher, warp disruption field generator, warp scrambler, warp disruptor.
I'm gonna say B.
That's it.
Oh. Thank God I intended those CGI beacons.
Remember, you got your lifelines if you're unsure. Have the audience help you. And you did choose who you're going to have as a phone a friend, I hope.
Oh no.
How many modules does one MK5 small shield booster blueprint produce? 1, 2, 5, or 10?
I'm gonna say 5.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It's wrong.
Nobody used any of their lifelines. My goodness. Everybody's
What
so
do they have
confident.
lifelines for?
So full disclosure,
I don't have any more games.
These yeah, we're done. I mean, these questions are brought to you by myself and Rambo, two guys who know this game very intimately. So if someone says, "Are you sure? Do you want to use a lifeline?" You might want to use a lifeline.
Hey, you didn't say anything, all right?
Come on, get somebody that can answer this question. Let's give away some ISK. I don't want to not give away some ISK.
All right, you want to get somebody else?
Yes.
Gonna mute you, Lelouch. Thank you for playing. Okay, let's get one more. Let's go. XXX. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Durkadur. I'll unmute you. Where are you at in the chat? Durkadur. There you are.
Yo, let's go.
Let's go.
We're flying through contestants. What's Durka, number 4?
Yeah, number 4. Yeah.
I only had 2 games, and so we're gonna continue.
Ryan Ringer for number 4.
We're going to be continuing here. Durka, I hope you answered the first 4 questions correctly. Do you know the rules of the game?
Well, no, I kind of just got here like maybe 10 minutes ago, but I can just wing it, I think.
You got 3 lifelines if you need one. If you decide to take one, just yell it out, and I'll tell you what you have left, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I got the 50-50, phone a friend, and ask the audience, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And use the dang lifelines.
All right.
All right. Here's a question for 100 mil. Who is the current executor of No Please Stop Alliance? Tahini, True Zealot, Epitaph, Run.
Quite some funny name thrown in there. It would make for some very creative answer. But I am part of the No Alliance, so and I do know Tahini and Run fairly well. So the answer is D. Run. Final answer.
You got it. Oh, I double clicked. All right. Next question for 200 mil. Which system level can you spawn capital rally anomalies in? Tier 6, Tier 8, Tier 10, all of the above.
So, I actually haven't run any of those sites. But from what I understand, they are spawned by the pirate array or whatever the thing that spawned the other sites before that. And I know for a fact that these sites don't have they don't have a level requirement. You just need to have a Citadel install the module. For that reason, I'm gonna save my lifeline. I'm gonna go with D. So any of the above.
There it is. I like how he talks it out. We need more of that.
Yeah.
Do more of that.
Yep.
That's great.
You know, like, that is really winning that content from Provi, because that's where their pilot alts are in.
Yep.
There you go. All right, next question for 250 mil. Which weapon module is most suitable for close range combat? Snub-nose railgun, beam laser, rifled railgun, nunchucks.
I'm gonna go with A, snub nose.
All right, you got it. Question 8. Halfway there. Next question for 300 mil. How much does the Rorqual compress ore? 25%? 50%? 10 times? 100 times?
Oh man. I'm gonna have to use a lifeline on this one. I do not mind. And while I tend to keep an eye out on new things to kind of see where they're at, I gotta be admit, I really haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the last patch. How does the call a friend work? I'm guessing I'm choosing somebody in the audience?
Yep. Choosing someone in the audience, I will unmute them and they can help you.
So it's a pretty precise question, and I need to find somebody who's got that who's hands-on with the mining, right? Because they would know. They would look that up.
Yep.
So I know a couple of faces here, but none of them strike me as miner. However, there's a guy here named Mining Director Groniak, which I don't know who it is, but I'd kind of be tempted to ask him. So
Okay.
yeah, let's go with that.
We're gonna unmute Mining Director Gronick. So unmute yourself too, sir, and give your advice for what Durkadur should answer here.
Hello, Groniak. Nice to meet you.
He might be trying to. You can see a green come and go.
Yeah, you can see his little light pop on.
Am I there?
There you are.
Hello, Groniak.
Hello.
So the question is, how much does the Rorqual? What's the percentage of compression on ore?
I believe it's 10 times.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I think you seem very confident about that answer. So I will put my fate into you. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, that's gonna have been a good run. So Taylor, I'm gonna go with 10 times.
That's correct.
You got it.
That's correct. Snacks, you're wrong. It's not 100.
Let's go, Groniak. We got this, baby.
There you go.
Mining
Phone
director
a
for
friend
nothing.
lifeline.
Yeah, good
There
job,
you go.
Mining Director Gronick. We appreciate your help. I'm going to mute you again. Good job. You have 2 lifelines left. You have 50-50 and poll the audience.
Okay. Next question for 400 mil. Which system is located in the Kador region? Vorsk, Dodixi, Veld, Romy.
I gotta use another lifeline here. I just don't know it. I think I'm gonna go with the 50-50.
Okay. So with the 50-50, I guess on that end of it, I just take off 2 of them. So I will take off B and C.
So what are the 2 choices that I have?
So what's left is A, Vorsk, and D, Romy.
Boris doesn't sound like an Amar name, so I'm tempted to say Romy. So I'm gonna go D, Romy.
You got it.
Yeah, let's go.
There you go.
I knew the
Next
only one
question.
I knew out of all of them was Dodixi, so I was really hoping you would cut that one out.
All right. Question number 10 for 500 mil. If you get this question right, you walk away with 500 mil guaranteed.
Okay.
All right. Which carrier has a roll bonus for fighter HP? The Nidhogger, the Thanatos, the Archon, Chimera.
So the Nidhogger as a bonus to damage, the Chimera as a bonus to shield tanking. So that would leave only the Thanatos and the Archon. Now I know the Archon does something else for PvP, so I'm gonna go with Thanatos.
Your final answer?
Final answer, Thanatos.
You got it.
Let's go.
500 mil in the bank.
Just remember, folks, the worst carrier in the game is the Archon. There you go.
Yeah, now the questions are going to be increasing in difficulty. Maybe. You might know some. Next question
Okay.
for 750 mil.
I was having such an easy time so far.
Which region has the most NPC stations? Lone Trek, Metropolis, the Citadel, the Forge.
Shoot, man. Wow. So those are all ISEC NPC region.
You still do have 1 lifeline.
Can you repeat all the questions? I'm sorry, all the answers?
As you're looking them up in star charts?
I mean, you know what? I wish there was an easy way to do that, but I have no clue how to filter. I would have to filter the data per region to find the number of NPC stations. So we're gonna use a lifeline for sure. I'm gonna ask the audience, but I think that's just gonna be wild out there.
All right, Taylor, work up the poll for him.
Doing that right now. Got to give me a second.
And people, go to the on-air chat when Taylor posts the poll and be sure to react to that poll for the answer, what you think it is.
Got to format this for the poll bot. Just give me a second. I was starting to do that a minute as soon as that came up because I knew this wasn't going to be one that was going to be super easy. Let's see. Where did we put the deal? It would be helpful if I had all these done ahead of time too. But damn it.
Game 2.
Yeah, exactly. So okay. Question mark poll. Gotcha.
I can tell you all the ones that it's not. Geminate.
There's the poll. Everybody stop typing real quick and go and pick your answer. 1, 2, 3, or 4. There's like an equal number of Watch them all come out with the same number.
Come on, people. We need a vote.
100%. We've got 5 answers for number 1. We've got 6 answers for number 2, 5 answers for number 3, 5 answers for number 4, 5 votes anyway for number 4.
Yeah, I'm like,
pretty
I really
evenly
don't know
paired.
what to think now.
Not
I
really,
really just don't know what to think now.
Not really helping you, is it?
It's really an outlier question here. It's not something like anybody would know on their fingertips.
If they do, there's probably a problem.
So based off the poll, what's your answer?
So, okay, so here's where kind of I'm going. I know the region a little bit from traveling through them, from looking at the map, like Dotland and stuff like this. I know it's not going to be the Forge because it's a small region. Same thing with the Citadel. I'm really hesitating between Metropolis and Lone Trek. And Metropolis was my first reflex. That was my hunch. But now that I think about it, I think it might be Lone Trek. So I'm going to go with number 1.
Lone Trek, your final answer.
Final answer.
You got it. 461 NPC stations.
That's
All
amazing.
right.
That's amazing.
All right, you're all out of lifelines. The next question is for 1 billion ISK. Now, I think you can walk away with 750, or if you get this question wrong, you walk away with 500 million.
Yep.
Okay. So, or if you answer it correctly, then obviously you advance. So, the next question for 1 bill. The new Caldari system has 1 barren planet. Which one is it? New Caldari 1, New Caldari 2, New Caldari 3, New Caldari 5.
Oh, man. Okay, so... Man, let me try to think about this one. So I don't really do PI. So I don't know if there's any meaning to the planet number with the planet number, with the list, with the PI that they have. So essentially, you just named the first 4 planet, right?
There's only 5 planets in this system.
Okay.
4 of them are temperate, and 1 is barren.
Don't forget, you can still take the cash you've got now instead of possibly losing and going back.
You gotta walk out. I'm walking out with the cash, boys.
All right, so you're calling it quits at that. 750 million.
I just have no clue. This is like pure RNG, like.
If you were to take a guess, which planet do you think it is?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I would probably say 2 and 3, but that's just like 2 or 3. But that's
pick
like
one.
Pure. Let's go with 3.
Oh my God!
You would have had it right.
Let's go.
You would have had it.
Oh man, that's
But
amazing.
you decided to take the cash, so 750 mil.
Bravo!
Congrats.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That was amazing.
These questions are tricky. You got to know your stuff, and these aren't. You can't just look this one up.
I respect the master. You know, I have to bow down. Bow down.
All right. Well, thank you, and thank you everybody for attending the first episode of Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. We'll be doing these more often, and maybe not next week, but unless I give Taylor all the stuff to do it, if he wants to do it. But
we'll see. I may wind up being on the road, so that might be a little bit different to be able to record and do a screen share. But we'll see.
All right. So I'm going to be exiting out of this here, and let's see. Whoop. I got to close all my tablets. All right.
And take himself directly out of the chat. Nice one, Rambo. He's not there. He's totally gone. There he is.
And I totally exited the chat. Over here talking to myself.
That was perfect. I think.
But that was crazy, huh?
That was an excellent run by Durka Dur. That was fantastic. That was so much fun. Thanks for coming on, man. Even though you were late to the show, that's awesome. That did great. And in all honesty, Titan Tito, I mean, that was the most epic fail of the first few seconds of this, which was brilliant. I loved it. It was great. Maybe you'll get a chance at it next time. It was awesome.
Wasn't he the one that was choking on the Cheez-It?
No, that was Lelouch.
Oh, that was Lelouch. Oh, okay.
We had 4 contestants. It's great.
Well, the good news is we still got to give out some ISK.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. That's awesome. So, good job, everyone. Thanks for coming.
And Durka Dur, you know my contact info. I'll give you my character to send that contract to. And yeah, you get that money. 750,000. Or sorry, 750 million.
Yeah, send him 750,000. That's hysterical. Send him 750 ISK and a bottle of Quaif.
That's not bad. That's a couple days of ratting, right? That's a couple.
A couple days of ratting in New Caldari. 1 jump from Jita.
Yeah, New Caldera is 1 jump away from Jita.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make the question too easy and just say, oh, in Jita, because somebody just log in their character that stays in Jita and, give away the answer. But who would have thought New Caldera?
Yeah, and Titan Tito, I mean, no, it's all good, man. There's epic music going on. We're trying to throw you off. Very tense music in the background right from the show. Rambo did an excellent job producing that and putting all those slides together. Yeah, and you can panic. It's okay. That's the way it goes. Yeah, New Caldari's 1 jump from Jita, yeah. So, no, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. That takes a lot of guts to get on there and then just try. Yeah. So.
All right, and then from there, we're going to call it the end of the show. So thank you for everybody joining, and we will give our shout-outs to the content creators to go check out their channels as usual. Damon Zell, go check out his stuff every week. He's got Echoes from the Front, and then as well as New Eden Radio every Sunday. Catch their show. I think they're about 10 or 11 a.m. for me. When that show airs.
Yep, that's about right.
And then, of course, Chicken and Achieved and Muse. I'm still going to shout out Voxel, Big Skillet, and just everybody else that's out there. Support your local content creators and give them a shout. Crimson King, there you go. Write some more articles. Talk to us about monetization in the gaming world. And kind of lecture some people about how it's not so uncommon.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you everybody for joining another great episode of Echoes of New Eden, and I will be gone next week. However, Taylor will be taking over, and so I guess the co-host will be a surprise co-host.
It'll be a surprise mystery guest host for next week's show.
Okay, awesome. So with that, everybody, fly safe, take care, and 07.
I was thinking of changing the name of my channel.